This is Paul. Yeah. I was looking at the letter U. Yeah. They have what's called unable to stand trial. A person who, because of mental incapacity or extremely poor physical health, is unable to defend himself in a court of law. Yeah. Such judgments made after thorough examination by psychiatrists or physicians. Yes. Now, I had a mental health evaluation while I was in jail. Yes. If I was competent to stand trial, and there was just some questions the guy asked me, like, well, can you tell me the last 5 presidents, and you know what day it is? Do you know your name? And there seemed to be some question about my mental capacity to be of assistance to the defense in the arrest of myself. Yeah. Now I know I'm kind of skipping ahead a little bit, but when you think about my refusing to sign after I was put in jail, yes. Hold until a review of mental health evaluation. I think a mental health evaluation is to find out if the person is either physically, I mean, according to the law dictionary, right, is of such extreme poor physical health, I'd almost have to be in a coma. Yep. Or mental incapacity, not understanding what day it is, not knowing who the president is, not being able to remember their birth date. Now, I had a visit from Western State Hospital that I told the person, whomever it was, the employee of Western State that was there in the jail, that they had thought that by agreements of the party, order dismissing misdemeanor to competency restoration treatment unsuccessful or unlikely. Now, the court considered the report of competency evaluator, who is a professional person, RCW 1077010. I don't know. I don't know who the professional person that evaluated me that they had considered. The court considered the report of competency when they issued this, on the 20th of October 2016. Yes. Now, I was arrested on the 26th, and I know that when I told Western State Hospital's employee that they actually had no jurisdiction for the arrest, that I was mentally competent when I had spoke to the employee of Western State Hospital. Yes! And I know it sounds like I was, well, mentally incompetent, except for I had actually emailed law enforcement and those in judiciaries that my right to due process is and has been violated because I was not given actual notice, an opportunity to be heard, that the petitioner didn't sign the protection order, that there's forgeries on the protection order. Yes. Now, this was in November 20th of 2015 when I had emailed the Port Angeles Police Department, the Sequim Police Department, the FBI. Now, let's say you're a mental health evaluator from Western State Hospital, and you sit with me, and I tell you, well, there's no jurisdiction. Number one, the district court judge never marked any of the boxes that require a review of a mental health evaluation. Yes, because I do read the forms that I'm given. Number two, if the Western State Hospital employee had actually filled out any sort of competency, who is a professional person, according or defined as RCW 1077.010, and they thought I was crazy for telling them that my rights are being violated, it seemed like the court didn't actually read the no contact order. And it seemed like since 2011, the judiciary didn't actually read any of the no contact orders. Did I mention in 2011? Now, let's say I find out that the judge actually did review whatever the mental health professional person had written about my bipolar disease or my schizophrenia or any of the other known ailments that the mentally deficient get. But I'm emailing ri.pdf, and in most of the emails I write, well, the petitioner didn't sign it. The respondent wasn't given actual notice and opportunity to be heard, and it was issued for 10 years. Yeah. Now, let's say that Judge Porter gets this report from the professional person from Western State Hospital that says, well, Mr. Budnick's bipolar and he's schizophrenia and has different types of paranoias and different problems. Mr. Budnick's been sending hundreds of thousands of emails that were being obstructed. Poop. And it turns out the sheriff in Clallam County knows that his emails are being obstructed because he himself is paying people to obstruct his emails. Let's say that any number of pockets throughout the state of Washington were paying to obstruct my rights and the rights of my sons. And then they decide to trust the professional person's evaluation when I myself had emailed them documentation that my rights are being violated. Now, I never was able to read any sort of evaluation from any professional person that does those types of evaluations, but I'm pretty sure if you'd given me a copy of it, I would have had a response to it. Now, somebody convinced whomever, that, well, why don't we just have the guy from Peninsula Behavioral Health do a competency mental health? It's not really an evaluation. Is he competent to help his own defense? Now, you would have thought in my defense of the arrest that should not have taken place because I wasn't there on December 31st. I wasn't in that city. That to have me go through any sort of mental health evaluation where a professional person from Western States in sanitarium had said something of anything derogatory really would have spoke to my need to be filing large numbers of lawsuits. Now I'm sitting here on the street. It's Father's Day 2017. And I'm asking myself, why am I not just coated in money? I mean, I should be living in a mound of money as big as Mount Everest. You have no idea. If you added $100 bills up to $10 trillion and you put them in a big mound, like a mountain of $100 bills, yes, that's what I should be making my house out of. I should be building my own personal residence out of $100 bills.